Hello, we are going to be drawing geometric shapes and creating clocks. Today we're going to draw a clock using a geometric shape. There's two options that you can probably do. I've done two. This is a square. The clock is made using squares. And we have our numbers, and this is what we'll use as you're learning to tell time. This one is a geometric shape using circles. So let's get started. We are going to start with trying to draw a geometric clock using our circles. Now, in order to make circles, it is hard to draw a lot of circles without a lot of practice. So, what can we use? What I have found some various size tops that you can find around the house, and you can create your shapes using actual items that you can trace. So that is what we're going to use. Let's set our example aside and start with a regular sheet of paper, and we're going to start with our largest circle that we have. This top is pretty large, so let's trace. Remember, the best way to do that is hold it in the middle and then trace it all the way around without moving your hand in the middle. Go under your arm and all the way around and make sure it's nice and dark. Then you lift up and you will have a perfect circle. All right, the next thing let's do, we need to make circles inside circles. So try your best to line up your circle so it's in the middle of the one that you made before, the larger circle. And do the same thing. Trace it all the way around, come under your hand and lift up. All right, and for me, I want to go one more time. So let's create another one. So we'll practice putting circles inside of circles. Okay. Make sure we've drawn it all the way so it's all connected. And we came pretty close to a round circle. All right. So now what we're going to do is on our clock, we have to show numbers because that is what a clock does. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my numbers in this area. Okay. And so we're going to make this our frame, and then we'll have our numbers, and then we can draw our hands to our clock. All right. So what I like to do is I like to maybe even use a ruler and divide my circles, finding kind of the middle, and draw a light line through there. And I'm going to draw a line through there like that. Then I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to do across the center of it. And I'm going to put a light line so I kind of know if I need it for a balance guide for the rest of my drawing. Keeping the middle and then dividing it off. So I have the center. This is where my hands will come off of it. All right, so let's get started. Now, what number on our clock goes on each one of these locations? Our clock goes from 12 all the way back around to 12, and it counts out. So I'm going to start with, let me pull my numbers up into this section. 1 and a 2. So 12, okay, and then it would be 1, 2, 3 would be my next interval. So I'm going to divide that in the middle of that dividing line that I had. It helps keep it even. So 12, and then we go 3, 4, 5, and then 6 goes right below our 12. So I'm going to start, I like to start with a circle, and then I can make the curved line up. Makes a pretty nice 6. Then we go from 6, 7, 8 is going to be divided, but our 9 will go right here. And I'm going to put my 9 here, circle, and then a curved line. Okay. All right, and then the ones in between, I need a 1 and a 2, and I want to center it in between. So what I'm going to do is make just a mark. And make the same equal kind of mark here. You can write out your numbers, but I'm going to just show them as an indicator. 12, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do the same thing for each one of these other 4 quarters because this is divided into quarters, okay? So I'm going to put, I'd like to kind of mark it and see if it's pretty close, and then I can go. You can even use your ruler to go from that point and mark it through if you want even more accuracy, okay? So I'm going to draw that line there. Then I'm going to go to this one. I put kind of where I think that would be for our quick sketch here and draw another line, okay? You can use a ruler or you can do freehand, whichever you prefer, but just make sure the increments are spread apart correctly, okay? We need 2 more numbers in between here. So I would say if I divide it, is that about the same to this to that? Yes. So let's draw, if you don't have your ruler, draw the line as if it's going straight to that center line, okay? Depends on if you have supplies available to you, okay? So we can go either way. We're going to put the mark between here and here, making sure they're about the same distance. And then I'm going to this time use my ruler. So I'm hoping you can see that we can do it both ways, okay? But you definitely want it to come off the center of your middle of your circle, okay? Now, the next thing that we're going to do, let's decide what time we're going to do. Let's go, the short hand is our hour hand. So I'm going to draw a little triangle shape and the lines that go to this point. So let's make it 1:30. So my longest hand is my minute hand, and I'm going to let it go almost so it touches the 6. So now that we know it is 1:30, okay? All right, actually we could have moved it slightly over because it's almost 2, but let's go with this for right now, okay? So we have 1:30, so that looks like a pretty good clock, all right? So the rest is basically how you want to decorate it, okay? So I'm going to put a circle right here that suggests that it spins around, and then I'm going to put some circles. Before I put circles, but I think maybe I'll try some oval shapes. I'm going to go an oval here, and I'm going to go through all of the 12, 3, 6, and 9, okay? Let's create oval shapes. These are all geometric shapes, okay? And I like using the dividing line. It helps me decide, is it even on both sides? We've talked about the term symmetry, and symmetry means it's the same on both sides, okay? So we've got 1, 2, 3. Maybe we want one right in the middle. So maybe between these two, let me make another oval, okay? Let's do that in between each of ours. So this would be 7 and 8. So we're going to make an oval right between here. What would be 3, 4, 5 o'clock? Okay, so let's put an oval right here. We're using our round line elements, closed line elements, okay, and symmetry. All right, so this is basically our clock, the one that I did before. I added some more circles up in here. You can come around and detail your clock in every way that you'd like. What I think I would like to do right now is I'd like to put a pedestal on mine as well. So I am going to use, maybe since we did mostly round elements, let's keep it as a round element. On this one, I'm just going to use a half circle. So that is our pedestal on this one. nice and dark so you can see it. Okay, so on this one, I used a square clothesline element as my base. All right, this one, you can use a half circle. All right, and so after that, I want to detail it. This one I use leaves. All right, so maybe we can keep using leaves. All right, so let's try symmetry, curve, curve, symmetry line, curve, curve to make our leaves. Okay, symmetry line and curve on that side and a curve on this side. However you want to decorate your actual leaf clock, or if you want to make it not a leaf clock, you can create whatever design you want around your actual pedestal. Okay, be very creative. I'm going to draw another half circle in here, and I want to make it dark, and then you'll see what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a shadow underneath as if this part is tucked inside. So if I make it dark, the very same shape as the outer shape, and I'm just going to darken this part. It's like it's back inside of the shadow of it. Okay, and I'm going to shade, and then I'm going to fade out. So it's darkest, closest to the underside, and then fade out. I did the same thing on this one. Let's do a comparative. I had my round circles on this one, and I shaded underneath each one of these and made my box. All right, so I want you to design your own clock and have the right designs that you want. Here are just two options. Now for the leaf, you can make more details. This is what I did. I just put the stem lines through there so it looks more like a leaf. Okay, so it looks more leaf-like. All right, detail yours as much as you like. I'd love to see how creative you can be as a designer. That's what designers do. Designers create items and projects that has never been done before, and something different each time. So that is why I created this. Is maybe one style somebody might like. This might be another creative style, as well as the square. All right, so I would like for you to continue on and see if you would like to design something like these clocks, but also learning how to tell time. 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. So it goes in a circle. So I know we have digital clocks, so wanted to try something a little bit different. If you want to shade, remember to lay your pencil down and you can shade out maybe the side of your ovals so it looks like the oval stands out a bit. Go around each one of them. You may use color. If you don't have colored pencil, use what you have. And if you had colored pencils, you can still shade the same way. All right, that just suggests that this sticks out a little bit more. It's not completely flat because it has a shadow around it. Okay. I'm going to fade on out. On this side. So this makes our clock has more and more dimension the more shading that we put around it. So I want you to have fun, and the next time that we talk, I'd like to be able to see, and you can just submit your work so we can see how creative of a designer that you can be in just using geometric shapes. All right, scholars, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed doing clocks. Show me your design next time I see you. Have a great day.